I've traveled to every part of this country during the last 6 years. During my service in the United States Congress, I took the initiative in creating the Internet.
We will keep this promise to the American people. If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period. If you like your health care plan, you will be able to keep your health care plan, period.
First of all, if you've got health insurance, you like your doctor, you like your plan, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan. Nobody is talking about taking that away from you.
No matter what you've heard, if you like your doctor or health care plan, you can keep it. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your private health insurance plan, you can keep your plan, period.
If you are among the hundreds of millions of Americans who already have health insurance through your job, or Medicare, or Medicaid, or the VA, nothing in this plan will require you or your employer to change the coverage of the doctor you have.
You are implacably opposed to the concept of man-made climate change. Why?
We followed the evidence. There are quite literally hundreds of factors that influence global temperature, everything from tilt of the Earth's axis to ocean cycles to water vapor, methane, solar system, the sun, cloud feedback, volcanic dust. The idea that CO2 is the tail that wags the dogs is not supportable. And if you go down and look at the scientific literature, we're finding reams of data in new peer-reviewed studies showing the medieval and Roman warming periods as warm or warmer than today without our CO2 emissions. So what's happened here is the whole movement, because now we've gone 16 years without global warming, according to the UN data, and they've now morphed into extreme weather. And we have the absurd spectacle of people claiming that acts of Congress and the United Nations can control the weather and make hurricanes less nasty and make tornadoes less frequent, which, by the way, none of them are showing any trends at all that are unusual.
You have a guy on this campus, Dr. Mueller, Robert Mueller. He's an atmospheric scientist. Forever and a day, whenever anybody in the media wanted to talk to a skeptic from one of the UC systems, they would go to Dr. Mueller. And he'd say, yes, I'm a skeptic on global warming. I don't know, maybe so, maybe not so. I'm looking at all the data. I can't make up my mind. Last year, Dr. Mueller came about and said, all right, finally I'm in. There is man-caused global warming. I've seen the data. I'm in. I'm no longer a skeptic. I'm a believer. Media went wild with that pronouncement. It's interesting, just about the same time, there was another UC professor. He teaches at UC Santa Barbara. He's a professor emeritus. He's a Nobel laureate. His name is Hal Lewis. Hal Lewis, about the same time Mueller said, I'm a believer, Hal Lewis, Nobel Prize winner, came out and said, anthropogenic global warming is the greatest and most pseudo-scientific fraud I've seen in my long life as a physicist.
What scientists are trying to do is to explain how you can get not just something, but the immense complexity of the world, of the universe. God is a complicated entity which requires a much more sophisticated and difficult explanation than a universe which is, according to modern physics, a very simple entity. You can dispute exactly what's meant by nothing, but whatever it is, it's very, very simple. And why is that funny?
Well, I think it's a bit funny to be trying to define nothing.
Life is now completely solved, barring the details. That was Darwin's contribution. And I want to see if I can design an eye using those principles from scratch, a bare patch of skin. Skin cells like these often have a little light-sensitive pigment to start with, so something interesting can happen. Of course, these cells couldn't possibly tell an animal where the light was coming from. All light would illuminate them equally, so they'd just be on or off. But let's drop our cells slightly into a shallow pit. Things begin to get better. Now our hypothetical animal could steer by light. If the angles are wide enough apart, different patches of cells will be exposed to light from different angles.
Unfortunately, I'm rather pessimistic about the way we teach science. And some people ask me a simple question. They're visitors from overseas, and they say that, wow, America has so many Nobel laureates, but it has one of the worst educational programs known to science. This is measurable. Our kids score dead last among all the other developed nations. And our students actually rank a little bit below the students of Jordan in science and math tests.